And that is it. The Minnesota Vikings have won their second game of the year over the Chicago Bears in Chicago. That game was a lot, y'all. So we're going to get into it on the other side of the intro.
Win or lose, we keep it real. Join Climbing the Pocket for Vikings final score. Skol Vikings!
We are here back on the CTP network. It's Vikings final score. The Vikings 19, the Bears 13. It's Flip Mozzie. It's Miles Gorham here joining you. I mean, we may just have to hear from the comments right away, but Miles, how you doing? And what do you have to say about this game, this win?
I mean, they won, so it's really hard to just hit the first, be like, oh man, but bro, we suck. We won. So yes, getting the Vikings at 2-4 is big. That's important for them. And they won a divisional game. So that in itself is also important. But how can they I don't understand this team. They just always play to the level of the talent of their opponent. And this is another one of those games, especially after Justin Fields got hurt and you let a rookie undrafted free agent, Tyson Bagent, whatever his name is, come in and have a chance to win the game. I know the defense had turnovers, so that literally was the difference of this game. The offense was awful in the second half. They didn't score. The offense didn't score in the second half at all. And they had one offensive touchdown. It just was ugly today. It was just one of those it just kind of like the Panthers game to me. There's a lot of those self-inflicted errors that you make on yourself, but you find a way to win a really ugly game against a really bad team.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not even sure how to break this one down because, again, the Vikings do win. The people are in the comments calling it a donkey show, calling for TJ Hawkinson to be traded. If you could just summarize, if you could pick one key moment in this game that was able to help the Vikings get the win, what would it be?
I mean, is obviously the probably the Justin Fields before his injury, the fumble. What was it? Who was that one? Jordan Hicks's fumble recovery or pick. Sorry, the interception. I think that one could, because the Bears, that was right before half. The Bears were kind of driving down the field to maybe score before half, and we were able to turn it around and score that touchdown. Basically, the only touchdown necessary, or the only touchdown the Vikings scored on offense, but because of the defense. I think that one really turned around kind of where the Vikings were at heading into the second half. But, yeah, I'd say that one. And then I think Jordan Hickson himself was probably the guy. Otherwise, it was just ugly.
Yeah, we can go straight into highlights. So we typically pick we highlight a player and then we low light a player. Is your highlight in this game Jordan Hicks?
I mean, it has to be. I mean, he had an interception and he had a fumble return for a touchdown. I mean, if anybody else is going to get it, I don't know who else would get it because he kind of did his thing. He's the only one that he scored. We couldn't score on offense, so at least we could get it from our defense.
How much credit do you give for Brian Flores and this defensive effort?
I mean, it's hard not to give him some credit. He's the defensive coordinator. They finally created turnovers. They created pressures. They made it hard on the Bears. But I still think it's a personnel issue. I think Flores is doing best with what he has, but I'll give him credit because I think they were finally able to create turnovers, and that dictated the game today.
Yeah, I think, with the level of opponent, I think that's kind of my issue is I expect us to dominate against the Bears. And, we did dominate. I think my height would be.
Where did we dominate? My question on defense, a little bit.
A little bit. Yeah. But
overall,
I mean,
go ahead.
It was the turnovers, right? And it was Daniil Hunter pushing the running back into Justin Fields to create that Jordan Hicks interception.
Yeah.
It was, us taking down turning over Tyson Bagent two times in the game to create the things needed to win that game. It was done. The defense was on the field so much making plays that it was just like the Vikings still do not have complementary football. It was just purely 100% a defensive effort. So you give Brian Flores credit for that. And you got to see some other guys in there. You got to see Brian Asamoah. I saw him in on a few more snaps than usual. I saw Andrew Booth in at near the end of the game. So yeah, big props to the defense. I'm not going to call them like elite or anything because they were playing the Bears. They were playing an undrafted rookie quarterback.
Yeah.
So nobody's acting like our defense is going to, repeat against San Francisco. We'd love it if they do. But yeah, we can give Brian Flores credit. I think my highlight is the fumble that wasn't a fumble that saved us from the worst fumble we've seen.
Oh my God.
Fumbles this year.
We saw Kirk do that a few years ago. Like that was like a few years ago, Kirk. He didn't do that last year.
What is that? I mean, literally, if the refs don't botch that call, we're calling for the entire thing to be burnt down right now. Because it not only does it give the Bears, plus field position in a tight game, you have Josh Oliver missing a block, you have Kirk Cousins throwing the ball backwards, and you got Cam Akers unable to recover the fumble.
And he can't hit it out of bounds. That dude, and he couldn't hit it out of bounds right.
He literally had so much time to pick it up that he failed to twice and then failed to push it out of bounds. Like, what are we watching here? And these are not like rookies. These are not, these are not like depth players. This is your key free agent tight end signing. This is your veteran 35-year-old quarterback. And this is the guy you traded for 3 weeks ago, and we're getting nothing from them. They're combining to make the most embarrassing football play I've ever seen. It would literally be another addition to the blooper reel if the refs didn't get that call wrong, and we were able to punt after that play. That just saved everything for this game. That's my highlight: is the refs helping us out.
Yeah. I mean, it has to. I mean, that's kind of what it was today, though. It's so hard to feel excited about a win with how this season's gone so far. I guess it feels like in some ways lucky to be 2-4, unlucky to be 2-4. There's so much of that, but maybe we go to the low light here, Flip.
What pisses you off the most?
The offense, I know Justin Jefferson's out of the game, but you got everybody else. You got a veteran quarterback. You have your offensive line has been playing well. You have, a good core of receivers still. And Kevin O'Connell is your head coach. And you scored one offensive touchdown and you had to kick 50+ yard field goals to literally all their other attempted points were 50+ yard field goals. And so you needed your defense to score for you to even have a chance to win this game. To win this football game. And so my issue is, again, the second half football on offense has just been abysmal. They might, the first half was not great, but the second half, basically no Justin Fields most of the game. You kind of have a chance to put your foot on the throat and you kind of just piss it down your leg and say, we're kind of cool with just running the clock and, blah, blah, blah here and there. Why are we you see other teams putting other games away? Other teams are putting teams away when they get in these types of situations, and the Vikings just don't seem to have it in them. They can't do it.
Yeah. No killer instinct at all.
No killer instinct. And I know the offense has done a lot for this team, the last couple of years especially, but man, the offense needs to be better. You can't just say, oh, chalk it up, no Justin Jefferson, that's it. No, it needs to be better than that. TJ Hawkinson needs to be better. I think Jordan Addison in a couple plays needs to be better. KJ Osborne actually looked pretty good today. I'll give him props. But the running game, I think Madison continues to have some of his struggles in pass pro in some of those areas. He's not that explosive. You highlighted the Josh Oliver situation. I don't know why they can't ever put it all together. Like to score 19 points today and really only 12 with your offense
12.
it's just pathetic to me. Like I think
Yeah.
that should fans, the team, they shouldn't come to the podium today after the game and sit here and be like, well, we did our shit today. No, it was awful. You were lucky that you played a really bad football team today.
Yeah, I can't disagree with any of that. Again, I go back to like, this is TJ Hawkinson. This is the highest paid tight end in the league. And we can't count on him to make any dynamic plays. He's just a guy out there. Like, this is Alex Madison, the guy you talked about being the bell cow back all off season long. And he's got, 14 carries for 35 yards, 2.5 yards per attempt, per carry on average. Kirk is thrown for 5.8 yards per attempt. These are just, this was a pathetic offensive performance from a team that is structured to have offense being the strength of the team. Yep. I do not understand what the holdup is here. And another thing that just completely grinds me is we can't get a play call in. Yeah, we cannot get a play call in. Like, I don't know what's going on with the crowd noise, like they keep on calling it, or Kirk Cousins, you're a 35-year-old veteran quarterback, Kevin O'Connell. It seems like they're just waiting to see what the defensive personnel is every single snap. Yeah. But it's costing this team all of their offensive rhythm because they want to wait 20 seconds to figure out what to call. And you just got your guys standing around. Like, go attack somebody, go move somebody off the ball, get the run game where you said it was going to be, and then throw to your stars. Just like attack rather than all these checkdowns. 5.8 yards per attempt. Really disappointing from the offense. The Vikings win this game. They move to 2-4. It was not a game that inspired any confidence. And now they play the San Francisco 49ers on Monday Night Football.
Who are playing really close with the Cleveland Browns, by the way.
Cleveland Browns have a good defense. So
that's true.
So, and McCaffrey is out and Debo's out. So,
I missed that. I missed McCaffrey out. Okay.
Yeah. So, Miles, like, what is your message? What are you taking away from this win?
Not really.
Nothing. You're saying nothing. You can't. There's nothing to take away.
There isn't. Like, this is a game like that. You should win. It's a game like you're trying to prove, like, for most of the season, obviously going into this game, we're 1-4, and all I hear is people saying, well, we're not like the bad 1-4 teams, like the Bears or like some of these other teams or the Panthers. But like, how are we not within? We're damn close to those teams right now. Like, that's how we've been playing. And so it's really hard to take away anything positive outside the fact that they won. So they got on the W column. So like, yes, that matters. But like, can they spring that into like a run? Can they turn that into like playing good unison, like you said, like full complementary football? Can they turn that like momentum into something? Because we haven't seen it all year. And so like, they may play good games and lose, but you're not going to play a lot of really bad games and win. Like, that's not going to happen. You're not going to play the Chicago Bears every week. You still have to play some other football teams that are pretty good. The 49ers are going to let you get away with that next week. Like, you have to find a way to execute a full football game front to back with offense, defense, and special teams. And until they can kind of get that figured out consistently, like, it's hard to really take away anything but they got to win. But to me, especially with how they played today, I know they won, but like, it shouldn't change their prospects of what the rest of the season are like looking ahead. It shouldn't change any of those decisions heading into like the trade deadline for me. Now, it might for other people, and that's fine, but I don't think it should change anything in terms of, I think if they get too good of an offer for like a Danielle Hunter, they shouldn't be afraid to say yes to it, like those types of things. And I know that may be a little bit of an overreaction, but that's how bad this team has played. And like, it's really hard for me to chalk anything up other than like, until you could prove it over the course of a couple of weeks, like, it's really hard for me to buy in on anything right now.
Yeah, I mean, and I think, even if they do go on a run here, we've seen we've seen what this team's floor is. Maybe you can argue we haven't seen their ceiling, but if you can't show your ceiling during the first 6 weeks of a season, then something's seriously wrong.
When 4 of those games are at home, by the way.
Yeah. 4 games at home, 2 on the road. You win the 2 on the road. You still haven't won a game at home. Miles talks about the trade deadline. He is still pro trade. He is still, get some picks if we can. Kwesi yesterday at the Notre Dame USC game, checking out Caleb Williams, maybe. Caleb throws 3 interceptions in that game. Of course, that's just Vikings football right there. It's like you go see the star and he ends up throwing 3 picks. So maybe there's not a specific target at quarterback that they're looking for. Maybe they understand that they may have a high draft pick here with how this season is going. But again, Miles, after today, whatever you were thinking about, maybe we can go see a run, even though they win, maybe we can compete this year. It's very hard to resist a trade offer for a Danielle Hunter or a Jordan Hicks or a Harrison Smith right now. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. We're supposed to be more positive, but the comments are agreeing with us.
Hey, dude, it's really hard. Like I wanted to come in and be like, okay, the Vikings put the Bears away. Like that was like light work. They finally did what they needed to do. They couldn't turn this game into a double-digit win. Like they couldn't. Like I don't understand at this point how we're supposed to feel bought into anything other than this team being mediocre, and I'm sick of being mediocre. Like I really am. Like I'm sick of it. Like. And I know, like, yes, last year was worth it. I think last year was great. But, like, overall, the last 5 years, 6 years, only 2 of the 6 years they've been good. Otherwise, it's been mediocre to bad. And I'm sick of it. Like, I'm over it. I don't know what else we're supposed to, like, we're supposed to just be. Yeah, you're right, Kevin. And we probably aren't even mediocre. But, like,
but we can just say it because we're in that point. Like, no, I don't have to be happy about a win if it's going to push my team down the draft board, and they're still going to play like crap. Like, what is this purgatory that you're giving me? You want to play winning football, then play winning football. Don't play this BS, hope the defense gets 2 turnovers against an undrafted quarterback type of game. That's not going to convince me that you're going to do something next year without a rookie quarterback, without an elite quarterback. This is a burn it down. This is a trade everybody type of win. And they're rare. So some people may not want to hear that, but we won the game in a way that says that we should trade everybody. We should trade Danielle. We should trade Harrison. We should trade Jordan Hicks while this defense looks good. Have Brian Florence coach them up, lose a bunch of games, and let's go get a quarterback, because this is just mediocre. This is a team that is going to struggle against every team they play. And we're going to be standing here with like a 7-10 record at best at the end of the year with like the 14th draft pick, unable to get somebody who can actually turn this thing around, because it's headed in the wrong direction right now. I don't care if we won. It's headed in the wrong direction.
Well, and like the part of like them coming out last week essentially and the team saying like, we're not going to trade people, we still have hope. And it's like, how you can't keep selling the fans on that as a Vikings organization playing games like they did today. Like you can't keep trying to like sell that false hope when you're not putting that on the field. You're not putting that product on the field to have the fans have faith in it, and to stop talking about the trades and the things coming up, because that's their fault. Like fans should never get mad at anybody else talking about the trades and things like that, the media or us, like anything like that, because the Vikings are the ones creating this narrative and creating this situation, not us. So, I mean, that's tough. It's so tough right now to feel like confident and happy about where this team is and where they could go. Again, if they come out next week and decide to like really go at it at the 49ers and do that, I'll stop talking about it. I'll give them a break. But until we see some of that consistency, like you're not gonna hear. It's hard for me to be like, oh man, let's talk about like the couple really nice plays that we saw from you name the player. Like that's great. Like it's nice that some guys could have some individual plays, but like as a whole, it just isn't good enough.
Yeah, and you talk about the 49ers game. We're not going to do too much of a preview here, but the home games, I mean, you lose against Tampa, you blow it against the Chargers late in that game with the I don't even want to talk about the end of that game. you blow it against the Chiefs, and now you have the 49ers at home on Monday Night Football. So yeah, how about the last-ditch effort, beat the 49ers or trade everybody?
Yeah, man.
That's all I got. It's 20 minutes.
Yeah. Sorry, y'all.
There's not even anything to argue about.
There isn't. Like, it's hard to create a lot of content out of that, like what we just saw. Like, and like we'll do more later in the week, but it's just really hard to just be like, attaboy. Like, I can't even do that. Like,
yeah. But you should, because I know y'all agree. Like, subscribe, stay up to date with the CTP network. Go get yourself some Link Monster beer. And Miles and Matt will be with y'all on the next show tomorrow to break down a more reserved take on this Vikings Bears.
Matt will keep me grounded. Yeah, Matt's going to keep me grounded for sure.
Till next time, y'all. What do we say, Miles?
Skull? Is that what we're still?
Skull Vikes. Peace, y'all.